Hey everyone, welcome to Clean Slate Living's YouTube channel. We are so excited to show you guys the new Hope series featuring Jake the Snake Roberts. It's a multi-part series, so you are going to be encouraged by all that you're going to hear, and we can't wait for you to see it. What was your clean slate moment where you really felt like something needs to change?
Oh, well, that was before I left Texas and moved in to Dallas's house. I knew that if I didn't do something right away, that I was going to die. Each time that I used, I was hoping to die. That's horrible. But I wanted to die. I didn't want to live anymore, man, because I didn't have any hope. I didn't have any dreams anymore. So I think my aha moment was the first time that I had a dream, because I had not dreamed in years. It was all nightmares. But I had a nice dream, and I woke up that day feeling so alive. And I looked around me and realized I don't have to get high today. I don't have to drink today. And guess what? I feel good about that.
Wow.
That's awesome.
The other big moment for me was Dallas. As a junkie and a drunk, I was constantly putting myself down. Constantly. I mean, I wore shirts that had negative messages on them. You know, whether it be wasted youth or just a negative message. And I didn't realize that I'm putting that out there, but I was. Jake's wearing this shirt that says this. That's cool, but it's not cool. And Dallas told me to quit knocking yourself, quit putting yourself down. Don't want to hear it. What I want to hear is you say you like yourself. And I said, well, I can't say that right now. And it was over a month before I could stand in front of a mirror and say, man, I like you. I like you. Because I've been clean for about 6 weeks then. And to just get that out, it had been so long. No dreams, no hope, things that were just completely gone out of my life. Yeah, I look back now and I can't believe I got that bad. I really can't. You know, I mean, the stuff that I did, oh my God, when I was high, I would do some horrible things. You know, always hurting myself.
Yeah.
I didn't go out and hurt other people. I just hurt myself.
So where do you think the addiction started? Why was that something, like if you didn't have that self-worth, you didn't have that purposeful life?
It was genetically put into me.
Yeah.
My grandfather was an alcoholic from hell. He had been in a real bad oil field accident when he was a young man that crushed his legs. So they had him in the hospital for a year, tied up to morphine.
Wow.
And back then they didn't have the rods and stuff to put in the legs. What they would do was they'd let the leg grow back together, and then they'd re-break it, trying to get the right for him. So after a year of being in the hospital hooked up to morphine, they pat him on the back, slap him on the ass, and tell him to go.
Wow.
You're healed. What the hell I am? You know, and he damn near went insane. And he started drinking to the point, just drink till he passes out. Drink till I remember as a kid not wanting to bring my friends to my house because I knew Grandpa would be in his chair, passed out. He may have thrown up on himself. He may have pissed himself. Whatever. So I didn't bring people by. And that shame, with that pain that he was in, and that's how he medicated. You know, they told him at 20-something, you're going to die because of alcoholism. Well, he did. He lived till he's 93.
Wow.
Didn't remember anybody since he was 70. By the time he hit 70, he couldn't tell you who the hell that was over there. You know, he thought I was his son when I was actually his grandson. But I think that it was genetically into me. Compound that with watching how other family members dealt with pain. He was in pain, so what did he do? He drank. Well, it must be okay because he's really in pain. That's kind of how I figured it out. And of course, I loved him, so I didn't want to call him a loser. I would lie for him. I would make up excuses for him. Hell, I was driving at the age of 10 and 11, driving him home from the beer joints.
What state was this?
Oklahoma.
Wow.
There's back roads you can take, and I remember it was an old international truck, and it was a 5-speed, but I just put it in first and drive all the way home in first.
You were his Uber driver. Yeah.
And he's over there throwing up on himself, being sloshed around in the truck. I'm scared to death and crying, knowing that when I get home, my grandmother is going to go absolutely ballistic when she sees me driving, him passed out. What the F is going on?
So generational. You feel like this was generational?
That's the way it was always done.
So the shame that your grandfather was holding on to was the shame that was transferred to you as you got older, and you carried that same shame and burden.
I didn't want anybody to know my history because it was so dark. My father being a pedophile, a lot of shame and anger there. I carried that stuff. I never dealt with it. You learn to accept it. But do you? Because it's still there and it still hurts. So where do you go?
Do you feel that the suppression of that came out in the ring when you were a professional wrestler, when you're coming out with a bag with a snake? We know the symbolism of a snake, the persona, and you're amazing at what you did. I believe one of your snake's names was Damien, right? You had Lucifer, you had all these, evil symbolic moments, but yet you're, like you said, you were trying to figure out your own identity. You're trying to figure things out.
I kept pushing that star was so angry, and that's what made me money. It was the most important thing to me was to go out there and perform because that was my only relief. It was the only time that I felt safe, that nothing around me can hurt me, this alter ego. Because Jake never felt nothing. He was a bad SOB, and people loved him, the people were afraid of him, but people respected him. And the hard thing about that was being the dark side. When they turn the lights off, what does Jake look like?
Right. That's hard.
Yeah, the mask comes off.
The mask comes off and reality is there. Now you're sitting in a hotel room 1,000 miles from home. You call the wife, she's upset because you haven't been home in so long.
Yeah, so all of that came at a price. Right?
Yeah.
On the road and being this persona, and you're sacrificing.
Never going home. I remember the first 2 or 3 years working for the WWF, I might have had 20 days off in a year.
Wow.
20 days off in a year. And I did that for 3 years. And it was just a terrible grind. But you make it because each night you get fed a little cookie that makes everything okay again. Because I get to be Jake. And remember, Jake has no problems. Jake's a bad SOB, and everybody loves him.
And you're getting that affirmation that maybe you weren't getting from your grandfather or even your dad. Yeah.
It's an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
That's all it was, man. I'm still getting high.
If you like that video, check out our next video. Please like and subscribe.